Good afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday, November 17th, 2022. Let's actually change what we're looking at here. This is going to be a plan for tomorrow's RTH session. And let's just squeeze this down a bit. So you're looking at a 30-minute full Globex sessions, and this was our weekly plan for this week. And let's just make it so we're just looking at the lines. Let's make it a little bit cleaner. There we go. So what did we have this week? As we come into Friday, I think it's important to kind of recap where we are and what we might have occurring for tomorrow's session now that we have all of this week's context in mind. So on Monday, what I was looking for was to actually retrace a lot of this move from Thursday and Friday, get into this pivot, and then start moving up. But instead, we spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday was when we sold off. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we spent above the 68 number, and we even tested this upper level at 40.51. I think I was one tick off. And today we had our gap down into this pivot at 14.75. I think the low of the day is just a point off of that. And now we're getting that ramp up. So what I want to see is, and maybe we should turn on just the RTH sessions for this, is we closed the gap and we sold off, and we actually ended up closing pretty high, pretty close to the highs of the session. So tomorrow, what I want to be doing is essentially buying dips, looking for us to get back over this 67 area, this prior area of support for earlier in the week, and see if we can get above this kind of 80, 85 area from Wednesday's trade, and then start accelerating up to about 40.10, 40.17, 40.20, and maybe even finish with new highs on the week. So I would be looking for a trend day scenario. To the downside, if we do end up testing this 13 area again, this 13, 14, 15 area again, I wouldn't be surprised if we catch a few bids, but essentially I think would be looking at the crap out scenario where we do get into that CPI gap, which starts about 39.71 down to whatever it is, I think 25, 38.25-ish. So I do think we would start getting into that gap. We've got the second half of the year's VWAP here. I think this is quarterly no, that's monthly VWAP. This may be quarterly VWAP. Yeah, the quarterly VWAP down at 3700s. So we would get below these higher time frame VWAPs, get into the gap, and sort of crap out. So essentially what I'm getting at is, as long as we hold these lows, I'm looking for longs and maybe even a trend day scenario. If we lose the lows, I'm looking for a full-on crap out. So let's go into how I'm actually going to be trading this. And let me just make sure I control C that so the zones stay on there. There we go. What am I looking at for tomorrow? Here's a weekly profile. There's also a monthly profile over here. So the monthly POC is sitting at 69.5. These did not move from yesterday's trading, unsurprisingly. So 69.5, the monthly POC, and the weekly POC a little bit higher at 80.5. So what I'm looking for is 44 has been a nice zone for a while. So if we go to a 30-minute chart, you can see back in September it was a notable area for support and resistance, or balance zones, or whatever you want to call them. So we did make a POC there today. So essentially what I'm looking for is if we open below, let's try to get a ghost feed going here. If we open below, I'll be looking for us to get over that POC, retrace, and then move to the other side of value. So value area high for the session sitting right near the highs of the day, around 61, 62. So I'd be looking for something like that. To the downside, if we do hold a bid essentially around the lows of the day, 21.75 is the monthly open, 26 is value area low actually from the session. However, I do like it just as a level, and if we scrolled back, you'd see it's been a great level. So 26 is also of interest. If we do hold this 21, 22 down to the low of the day, if we do find a bid there, we ramp up to 31. I will be looking to take 26 for a retrace long. So what that looks like is something like this, right? Go up to 31-ish, take the long, and see if we can get back towards that POC or that halfback on the day. So that's what I'd be looking for there. To the downside, If we do break the low of the session, I'll be looking for that crap out scenario, so I will be short at these same numbers I've mentioned a number of times: 04 half, 82 three quarters, and 72 quarter. Above, I will be bid at 62, 62 being the Q3 halfback. We also do now have settlement lows at 62. We have today's high, so for tomorrow it'll be the previous day's high at 62, value area high at 61. That again, that Q3 halfback at 62. So this area in general has been of interest, and you can see all over the chart I've got a number of black levels. However, whether it's 62, 63 half, 66 quarter, 68, I'm not sure what the precise number will be just yet. I'm hoping Globex can maybe give a little more clarification. It did look like 62 gave a bid around 4:30 a.m., and it has been nice during other times of day. Those two were RTH. I think there was some Globex action here, yeah. So I'll be going with 62 likely, and that's just for a move back towards back inside of whatever this is, Wednesday's value area, which is sitting at 68 quarter. So yeah, that would look something like we travel to 67ish. Just on a 1 minute. Take the long off 62 and try and get a move up towards 68 or up towards the POC of Wednesday's session around 78 or 79. And again, once we get above this kind of 80 area, what I'll be looking for is for a squeeze or a trend scenario. So above 81, so I would be hitting 81's long for a move up towards 95, just where we have that month, or sorry, not the monthly POC, but a high volume node on the month sitting at 95.96, which also coincides with Tuesday's value area low. And so 95.96 would be our first target. And then around, kind of last week's high, 09-ish to 20-ish, kind of last week's high to this Tuesday session's POC. And if we do get above that, I'd be looking for a very strong trend that I would not be looking to short for possibly new highs on the week. And I do understand how bullish that outlook sounds, so I don't really mind if it happens or not. I will just be scalping these levels as mentioned. Hope that helps. If there are any changes to this, they will be made pre-market per usual. So that is long 26, 44 quarters, 62, 81 three quarters, 40 15, 40 43, and short 04 half, 82 three quarters, and 72 quarter. I will not be playing below there, and I will not be playing above 40 43 likely. And as usual, just trading the IB for 5-point retracements. So hope that helps. Changes to the levels or anything like that will be posted pre-market to Twitter per usual. Have a great day and trade safe, you guys.